Welcome to our spooky, scary Saturdays. If you are new here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's roll into this.
He's gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Plot really quickly of Carrie for those of you who are not familiar. A novel written by Stephen King and released April 5th, 1974. And in 1976, director Brian De Palma came out with his first sort of movie interpretation of Carrie. And this was the first of 3 movie adaptations of the Stephen King novel that I believe. And the basic plot points of both the novel and the first movie, which I will be covering, it kind of goes into Carrie White is a shy, friendless teenage girl who is sheltered by her very overly religious mother. And because of this, there is an unleashed sort of paranormal telepathic powers in Carrie, which kind of starts at the beginning of the movie when she receives her first period. And she's actually not even really aware of what is happening because of her mother being so religious. Her mother has her brainwashed to think that getting her period was because of sin in her life, because she was going into womanhood, and womanhood in her mother's eyes was sinful because women are lustful, men view them as lust and all of that. And ultimately the mother, you find out at the very end, believes that Carrie, because the mother eventually had sex and enjoyed it to, create Carrie with Carrie's father, and I don't think they were married. She believes that Carrie was created out of sin, therefore the devil comes home. And it is kind of ironic in a way, just because Carrie does have these telepathic powers.
It's Carrie!
That she could just do anything with, so it does make you wonder. And in the movie, which is the only thing I'm going into, and I've never really read the book either, so it's never really said why she has these powers either. She just does. Classmates decide, just because of the whole long incident in the beginning involving her getting her first period, the girls making fun of her about it because she wasn't really even sure what was going on.
Help me!
Eventually, a practical joke is put in place on Carrie by kind of the popular girl in school to spill pig's blood on her, thus causing Carrie, with her newfound telepathic paranormal powers, kind of goes into a blind rage, you could say, telepathically, where she's able to control things with her mind and basically kill the entire prom scene. One of the best scenes, I think, in horror film history. I mean, it's just a phenomenal scene. Mind you, it's kind of like the main horror element of the movie, but it definitely makes it so worth it. That pretty much is the basic rundown plot summary of Carrie. Those are the things you may or may not have known, but here are probably the fun facts that most of us did not know.
How's it looking there?
Carrie was both Stephen King's first novel and his first novel to become a movie. Carrie's director, Brian De Palma, as well as Star Wars' director, George Lucas, staged open auditions together for Carrie and the original Star Wars. They did it at the same time together. Both the actress who played Sue as well as the actor who played Tommy Ross were both also considered for Star Wars. So just think how crazy that would have been if they were doing that instead. Also, the leading man and lady had dated before the making of Carrie, so their screen test included a makeout scene in the back of a car, a scene that did not end up in the movie. All of the cast were in their later 20s. None of them were in their teen years at all. The prom sequence was shot on an MGM soundstage that had been the site of another celebrated fire scene, the burning of Atlanta in Gone with the Wind. To keep the red stains on lead actress's prom dress and all over her body consistent throughout the 3 days it took to shoot the prom sequence, she slept in the bloody gown, and it was really pig's blood. Or it wasn't pig's blood, I'm sorry. It was just corn syrup and food coloring. Ooh, this one is juicy. Nancy Allen, who played the original top mean girl Chris, who I really like her in that movie. I think she's a very good-looking girl. She started dating De Palma during the shoot. They were soon married and made 3 movies together. So I'm probably going to have to, find that. More spilling the tea. During the shoot, De Palma also fixed up Steven Spielberg with his future wife, the girl who played Sue. Allegedly, De Palma invited his filmmaker pal to the set because of all the attractive actresses, and that the Jaws director asked several of them out, including the girl who played Stu, and she was the only one who inevitably didn't turn him down. The actress, however, recalls the matchmaking a little differently. She said De Palma fixed them up by sending her to read for Spielberg's newest film at the time, a part that she was not old enough to play, and either way, they ended up together in the end. As far as opinions on the original Carrie movie, I first saw it, it was part of, my brother and I would do like these Saturday night movie nights where we'd go to Blockbuster, grab a bunch of DVDs at the time, and, watch them. And one Saturday we were doing that, I saw Carrie. I knew I was definitely wanting to check it out because I knew about, the infamous pig's blood spilling on her scene, so I was very, very excited and curious about it, so grabbed it, and I was just mesmerized, to say the least. I was in high school, and just, the whole idea of, maybe this was because I was an outcast, more so as a elementary school age, middle school, and then, by later elementary school, I had already kind of accepted my outcastness, but when you are on the outside of the, popular kids, you kind of fantasize about revenge, so to speak, so I gravitated to it from that. So that is my opinion piece, talk a spooky, scary Saturday on Carrie. I will see you all next week with another spooky, scary Saturday.